Yeah, I checked that, but I'm not sure what happened. So it's Cindy Fodor here with Stamp of Love. I'll just do that intro again, and it's Make It Monday, and I'm so excited to have you join me. Um, I don't have it all together, but I'm excited to stamp with you tonight. So hope you'll give me some thanks, Debbie. I realized I already checked my sound, and I'm not sure. I clicked on it to check it. That was the first thing I checked, but evidently I didn't adjust it. All right. Thanks, Debbie, for joining me. So, y'all know what's going on, and I can't talk about things. So, please know that it's on my mind, it's on my heart constantly as it is on yours. I appreciate all the prayers and just keep praying. God's gonna show His mighty hand in amazing ways, and I'm excited to see that. So, and just breathe, right? I need to do some relaxation techniques because I'm getting all tight. Let me fix my shirt. That looks really bad. All right. So first of all, we have to do my countdown. So tonight, I had to go in and check to see where we're at because I didn't even have any idea. But we knocked another 1,000 off in the past week. Thank you, Debbie. We knocked another 1,000 off of the countdown. So we're able to open box number 36 because we are down a little over 35,000. So let me just pop this off of here. I tried not to close it terribly tight so I could get it. All right. All right, so inside of here, there's a prize. And then there is a piece of paper that says who gets the prize. So every time, I'm hoping every time it's going to be different. I'm still not finished filling everything out, but I did put a big dent in it today. So Tidings of Christmas is the prize, and that's the designer paper. All right. And the person that gets it is one of my club members from this month that has the highest order. So I will have to go check and see who that is and announce that. All right. I won't be giving numbers, don't worry, but I will be picking the top order for the month of October, which is this month. Okay. Another special thing to announce is that there is going to be a special on the 20th. All of our cling mount stamp sets, that's the rubber ones that are clingy, not the photopolymers, are going to be on sale for 15% off for 24 hours on the 20th. And that includes all the stamps in the annual catalog. So not the holiday catalog, in the annual catalog. So there you go, guys. I know a lot of you have said, like, I haven't had time to get all the things I want in there. Now we have the holiday catalog. So now go back to the annual catalog, check it out, see if there's anything that you really want to get, and save 15% on the 20th. Let me do something strange here that I'm missing. Oh, sorry. When I get to the demo part, for those of you that aren't demonstrators, which I think a lot of you are, which is fabulous. I'm so excited to have you guys on my team. So you'll be able to go take advantage of this. But for anybody who watches this who's a customer, I will have my host code that you can use when you place that order. Just remember that during my countdown, for however long that takes, and there will be something going on. There will be some special, some ordering special. So always check with that before you place your order. For this month, for every $50 in orders that you place, you will get in the drawing for the mini cut and emboss machine. And you will also get a couple other things, and I forget what that is. I think, yeah, it's in my email. I'm sorry. I promise I'll post it on here. So so that you can grab that if you're not sure, or just message me and say, hey Karen, welcome. Hi Barbara. Hi Sylvia. Did I say hi to everybody? Hopefully. I appreciate you guys being here. All right, so I haven't touched this set until today, and I keep pulling it out. And those of you that, Linda and Barbara, I have it laying out, wanted to play with it. Bright Baubles. There's some great samples with this. Hi Karen, the other Karen. So anyways, I finally said I am going to grab that and play with it. And of course, you know how my day's gone, so I didn't get a lot of time, but hopefully I will inspire you to pull yours out and try it, or at least decide if it's something that you might like to play with. And I will try to finish a couple more when I'm done here and then get them posted. I know that from my team, I still haven't posted all the pictures from Wednesday, and I do have pictures now, and I promise to get those up. So, so let me flip over to the other screen so that you can see what I'm working on. And so this is the stamp set. And of course, with all that brightness, you can't see it. And then there's a lot of dies with it. There are detailed dies, and then there are outline dies. What's really cool is, so there's two details here that coordinate with, maybe this one, yeah, coordinate with this die. And then there are two detailed dies here that coordinate with this die, so that you can layer them as I'm doing here. I didn't finish cutting the background out, but I'm going to cut a background with this black glitter paper. So that will be a complete ornament. And these would be beautiful. They're nice size to even if you want to hang them on a tree. Okay? So, so that's an introduction to those. I'm not going to use all of those tonight, but I am going to show you a couple. So one that I pulled out, and I saw this idea, and I thought that was really cool. Here's the Marion Bright, and then a piece of vellum, and layered together. It's really pretty, but especially if you can picture this, I'm not going to put this together right now, but if you can picture this popped up on here with this really pretty die cut that comes from that set. Let me just get the insides out there. And this goes right on here and hangs right on my card. Okay, so that's just to give you just a little idea of how those detailed die cuts work. Okay, what we're going to play with tonight is the stamp set. I'm going to pull this in because I think it won't be quite. Give me a second to focus. Hello. All right, there we go. Not sure, you know, white is just really terrible for this camera for some reason, but we're gonna use this stamp here, and I just die cut out the whole circular thing. There's a few samples in here. I have to tell you, I did not buy the stamp set because of the samples, so I promised to show you some that this one's okay. I like the gold embossing on the foil paper. That's my favorite. The rest I can skip, but hopefully I'll be able to show you a few that you might enjoy when I post them, because like I said, I don't have a bunch of them done, but I want to show you what pieces I have here. I'm also pulling in a couple other stamp sets. All right, this is really having trouble. I did turn the lights up a little bit, so maybe that's why. So I pulled in Christine, I want to say Sirocco. I can't remember her last name. It's on the demonstrator planning place. She did a slimline card that I'm going to sort of copy tonight. So I pulled in this stamp set, which, you know, I love. I love this one. But I actually cut this piece out with the Granny Apple Green in the background. I cut a couple of the baubles out. And then I pulled in my lovely Happy Holidays stamp set that is actually my stamps in the mail class this month, and this card isn't part of that, but you probably saw all of my cards and those things. Hey, Sherry, welcome. So this is the stamp set that is part of that, and I will put a link to that in my video so that you can find that. The deadline to sign up for that is Saturday. I'm writing myself a note so that I don't forget. Stamps in the mail, and then post pictures. Okay, don't want to forget that because my mind's not working very good. Okay, so my colors here, like I said, this is Granny Apple Green. I've got some Sahara Sand, and then I have Polished Pink as my background, and it's going to be my accent piece. So I'm going to put those aside for a minute. I'm going to pull in a piece of scrap paper, and we're going to do some watercoloring. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to try, I'm hoping this works out, because you know I love my blend pens. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm going to turn this light down a little bit. I think that I'm having issues because my light's too high. It keeps not focusing. Let me know if you can still see okay. All right, so you know how I love my blends, but I want really soft colors on this to copy what she did. But I did stamp these with Memento, and you know that runs with water. So I'm going to try to be really careful with my watercolor. And so I have my Polished Pink, and I'm actually going to just put a little color in here. Like I said, I want to keep my color light, so I'm not going to put a ton of color in there. I couldn't find my Granny Apple Green pad, and I might want a little bit of that. So I'm just going to put that on my block. And you can do that with all of these, actually. You don't have to pull your pad out to do that. But I love, when I watercolor, I do love to use my refills because it gives me a little more intensity in the color. And you guys know that these new pads are a little harder to squeeze than the old ones were. But anyways, so just getting a little color on each of those. So you could definitely do this with squeezing if you don't have the refills yet. All right. Okay, so let me grab my water painter, and I do have the big one. Probably should have brought both of them in. I'm going to get that started here by squeezing it good and making sure it's good and wet. And I like to do it on my hand because then I can tell how much wetness I have. I want to be able to see it shining but not puddling. So, and the tip should be real sticking together. Like if the bristles are not sticking together, then you don't have enough water on it. Okay? You want that nice point when you're watercoloring. All right, so we're going to start with yellow. I'm going to stay really really light with my yellow to start with, and I'm just going to get a little bit of yellow up here at the top, and I'm going to do all my yellow at one time. And I'm really mad that I grabbed this one. This is not my favorite. My favorite is the skinnier one. This one I really have to I have to keep it wet. And as you can see, it's not extremely wet there. It looks like I used the Wink of Stella with this color the last time. You guys know I was and I might do that because I love coloring with that. So I might just grab my Wink of Stella pen because I'm really mad that I grabbed this pen. But this is going to give me some nice color. And you know I said I don't want it really wet because I use Memento ink. So it's probably good that it's not terribly wet because it would be making my black run. So we're going to be, we're just going to be happy with a wash look. It looks like, you know how when you do an antique wash, you sort of have a dry brush effect. So let me get a little more color here. Yeah. I'm going to squeeze some water into here so that I can pick it up when I need it. And we'll just wet there we go. All right, let me add just a little bit more of wetness up here to spread this a little bit. And I'm going to blend these colors together in a second, so I don't want too much. So I'm trying to just add a little bit as I go, which takes a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm going to come into my balmy blue. Am I done with the yellow? You know what? Let me put a little bit more in the center here quick, and then I'm going to really, I went into my water a little bit, really wet it, and added some extra color so that it's really blended in my brush. And then I'm just going to come here in the center and, what do I want to do? I think I'm just going to go across the center here. Just going to fill my color in. Again, let me get some more water here. I used that up really fast. Okay. It's going good in that it doesn't look like it's blending my black out too much. All right, so let me get rid of this yellow. It's going to wipe it on my scrap paper and squeeze a little bit. Come in here while it's still nice and wet and get my blue. And again, I don't want a lot. I don't know if, oh, you know what? Let me bring this in here so you can see. So what I do is I work my pen into the color so that I can spread the color out, and I can see here about the darkness of my color. So that's about the color that I want. My screen just went blank. And then I'm just going to bring this in here. And then I'm just going to blend it into my yellow a little bit. I want it to sort of turn greenish. And then we'll turn the other side. And I'll fill this in. I want this just to be sort of a background piece. So I don't want it too bright. So I'm liking how that's turning out. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And let me go ahead and get some blue on this one, and then we'll pull our pink in. And again, I need a little bit more water, so I'm going to squeeze. Excuse me. Now I got it really wet. All right, so let me just pull this back down here into the yellow a little bit. And I failed to do that up here at the top. Get a little blue mixed in with that yellow. So we have a hint of green. A little more up here. Okay. All right, let me clean that. Not too much blue left on there, but I definitely don't want to take that into my pink, so I'll get that cleaned off, and then I'll pull the pink in here. This is a very bright pink, so you can see there I do not need much of that. So I'm going to really pull that down to get that good and wet and spread out a little bit. And then I'm just going to start here at the edge and bring a little bit into my center. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, and then maybe I'll make this pink up here. All right, let me do a little bit on this one. You guys are just winging it with me, okay? Oh, Talara, I know you have trouble with that when I'm live for some reason. Don't know why it does that. Is anybody else, is it freezing for anybody else? Would you rather I do this recorded rather than live? Okay, need some more water. You can see how it's drying up and then it doesn't spread well. So I'm just going to pull some more water in here. Sort of just mixing my palette right there to get the intensity that I need. Okay, I'm just going to bring this up around the edge a little bit to fill that in. I don't really want a line. Let me do that over here because then that will give us a little more pink. Since our background is pink, I definitely want enough pink on here to make it noticeable. I'm using polished pink. It's our in color. It's a beautiful pink. Okay, but I still want it to be pastel-y looking. And I know you guys can't see it, but one of these colors, I think it was the yellow, yeah, it still must have, it still has some Wink of Stella in it. One of the times that I colored actually with the Wink of Stella pen as my pen, and it's really fun to do, but I didn't want to put quite that much Wink of Stella on this because I feel like with this design, it's gonna yeah, stand out a little bit too much. Okay, now I need to do my birds, and I want them to be similar in color. So I'm gonna, while I have these colors out, I'm gonna just grab my two birds and throw a little color on them. They are not going to be typical birds. In fact, I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna skip the pink. I'm gonna do blue and yellow. I'm gonna try to do colors that you will see in nature a little bit more than pink and blue. So let me just get a little bit of blue on the sky. I'm not. Oh, I watched a lady who is a beautiful watercolor artist, and she did this bird, and it was a fast speed. I don't know if any of you saw it, but she was just incredible, and I was really, I had to be careful that I wasn't jealous because she has such a talent, and it was just so beautiful. I have no talent at all. That's why I stamp. So forgive me if this bird isn't absolutely gorgeous, but I do, you know, I tell you guys, it's just like slopping on color, and you still can, because the stamp is so gorgeous, you can actually do it. All right, so even though it doesn't look like hers, because Stampin' Up! Did such a great job of getting these shaded designs in here, I can throw color on here and still have a fairly decent looking bird. Might not be one you'll find in nature, but yeah. So far, this is the first time that I've actually watercolored this bird. I usually have used my blends, and they work fabulous. But if you aren't sure about them, then watercoloring is definitely a possibility. It's really not that hard. Let's get his beak nice and yellow here. All right, so I'm gonna come in with just a little bit more blue here. Actually, it's gonna turn green because I didn't clean my thing out. All right, now I'm gonna clean it because I'm gonna go yellow. All right, little birdie, you're gonna be a yellow bird, okay? God didn't make you a yellow bird, but Cindy's going to make you a yellow bird. Actually, I'm not sure what kind of bird God made this one because I don't know my birds well. My husband would probably be like, there's never been a bird that color. But anyways, you know, when you're playing with art and crafting, you can make things pretty much what you want to do, right? Creative license, I think it's called. Don't mind me, I'm really just rambling. And okay, so Karen, you like the live, it's going okay? I do too, because I love seeing you. It inspires me to have some interaction with you guys. So that's good to know. And Karen and Sylvia, at least I'll see you tomorrow night in Mount Airy. Looking forward to that. All right, so this one's going to be yellow. All right, I'm done coloring that. I was going to color these with my blends, but you know what? I think I'm gonna not. I think I'm just gonna watercolor them. It's going pretty well. So let me just squeeze on some color here. This is the one that I didn't have the Granny Apple Green pad handy. You should see my stamp room. It's a total wreck because I haven't touched it in a couple days, but I also I'm getting ready for retreat, and so things are just everywhere. And then tonight, a friend of mine refinished a dresser, an old dresser that was in our bedroom, and that had to go in my basement. So I have everything moved around, and yeah, it's just messy. So this is going much better. This pen has gotten wet because we're using it, and it's really acting a lot better, thank goodness, because boy, if it kept doing that the whole time. But I do find that putting this little pile of water here is perfect because this pen does not tend to give you as much water as our old aqua painters did. All right, I'm liking this, I think. I think this is going to look okay. I'm just going to shade this a little bit with a little darker color. And I might just do one more of these just so we can put this together and see what it looks like. And then we'll come back if we need to do another one. How's that sound? All right. And I'm just using these lines that they have in here to indicate that that should be a darker area. So that's where I'm putting more of my color. In case you're wondering, it's for those of us that don't know anything about coloring. So that just helps us. Plus it adds that extra bit of shading because it's already putting those lines there. So if you just stamped it and did it black and white, you would already have that look. All right, so now instead of red berries, I'm going to go ahead and do cherry berries. I'm going to do the polished pink berries. I just need to get rid of that green. Now when you're doing this, you do want to make sure your surface underneath doesn't matter if it gets wet, because obviously this water is going through here. Unfortunately, I have print on the other side of this because it's scrap paper, so hopefully that doesn't leave a mess. So let's get some color here, starting with my darkest. Again, pulling in some of my water to reduce the color a little bit. And all right, oh, that's really pretty, isn't it? I hope that this card turns out as pretty as these leaves are turning out, I'll tell you. I know one thing I didn't do. I didn't grab any rhinestones or anything to add to this card, but it's gonna, I don't know if there'll be a room for it, but I can just picture this with some shiny, I do have shiny ribbon to put on it, so that's gonna be fun. Thank you, Karen. I think too. I just didn't think about pink berries, but you know, you do see pink berries sometimes, so. Okay. All right, let me just wipe that off a little bit. I'll probably need that again, so I'm not gonna like completely clean that. But I do want to get rid of this wet paper before I get everything messed up. All right, so let's pull our pieces in here. So like I said, I have this shimmery ribbon that I want to use. So I think I'm going to put that on first, and I'm going to just tie that the whole way around because I want to be able to slide it to wherever I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little tie right here. I'm hoping that this works. Like I said, I'm doing this on the fly. This is sort of just looking at her idea and trying to make it into my own size because, like I said, hers was a slimline card, so it's much taller and much narrower. So then this has this opening right here, so I think I'll put that over here so that I can tuck that a little bit. Let me just scoop that up a little. And let me get my non-ribbon scissors. These are sometimes just connected by a little bit, so I'm going to snip that there, and then we can slide that up under. All right, now it looks like I need to scoot this up just a little. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to flip this over now that we know that that's about where we want that. I'm going to still leave that loose there in case we need to do any scooting. And I want to get this in place so that things don't keep flopping for us. And I cut this, this Sahara sand at 5.5 by 3 7/8. So about 3/8 of an inch smaller than the size of this card. I just wanted a little border there. And what I'm going to do for this is I'm just going to come in and I'm going to just add a little bit of glue here on the back. And that was a little more than I needed. Sorry. Just going to touch a few places and get them set down. I definitely want to get rid of some of this glue that I have here. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm going to have to hold that for a second because it's going to want to move as soon as I lift my hand. All right, now I need a paper towel. All right, now I'm going to lift this bottom part and I'll start up here. Now that we have it sort of tacked, again, if you can see it, it's enough. And obviously I had way more than enough there. I only just need to barely see a little bit of white to have enough adhesive. And there are lots of little pieces here, so you do want to touch down a couple areas so that they're not sticking up everywhere. I don't mind if, like this, I want a little bit of movement with my leaves, but I don't want a ton of stuff sticking up. All right, next we get to decide, maybe before this sticks down too much, because I definitely want some of these things to, I don't know, maybe I don't. I think this birdie can sit maybe here. I'm not sure how many baubles we're going to get on here, so I'm going to just play with it a minute and just see what, and you guys can maybe help me decide what looks good. Maybe what I'll, and then we have our holly, which I only did 2 of, but you know what? I've always wanted to do this. What if I put this right on my bird? Don't you think that's cool? What do you guys think? Maybe on this bird. No, I don't know. I want it on this one down here. Maybe I'll switch the birds. Maybe I'll put this one up here and put this one down here. What do you think? Now I was thinking, somewhere here, I wanted to put a saying across here, and I'm hoping, I might do it right where the ribbon is. I would like to put my Merry Christmas there. Merry and Bright, it says. I'm going to stamp that a while so that we can figure if that's going to fit in here. Make sure that's inked good. Hopefully I can stamp it straight. Not terrible. Now I did bring my punch, and I'm going to just get that down to size. I did bring my border, what's this called? Tag punch. So I'm going to give that a little tail and give this end a little tail and see if that fits on here. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. So what do you think so far, guys? Do you think I need some more holly in here? I need your help. All right, let's get some dimensionals in here. I think I'll put the birds flat because these things are going to be sticking up pretty good. These are big, so I'm going to have to put a few dimensionals on here. I might just do this one flat because I don't want it. I think this birdie's going to pop up. Just want to turn that just a little. Oh, I see that's coming up there. I'm not sure that that's supposed to come up there. Let me just tuck him under. I think he tore. I think I pushed it too hard. I think he tore off. Yep, there he goes. He's going to get covered. That's okay. I just want to make sure I glue this down really good because I'm going to, let me use some green glue under here. Then I can just throw it on. Of course, you know, this has to lay down good so that the rest of the stuff can go on top. So let's get this on. Okay, you prefer only one bauble. All right, so I guess I shouldn't have glued that down. And so many beautiful colors, and the colors now coordinate so well. I knew I liked bright colors, but I just felt like I could never put them together. All right, so we agreed that we need one more holly. So I'm going to, I think I had another one here somewhere. Did I? There we go. Okay, so let me just do another holly real quick. Especially since I had those big baubles on there, right? All right, just need a little water in here. I'm really glad my camera came back so that I can see what you guys are saying. Oh, shoot. You know what I forgot? Last time I announced that I was giving this ribbon away, and I just remembered it's laying here, this ribbon. And, excuse me, I forgot to see who that is. So, one more thing I will post in the comments here. Not in the comments, in the description. So you can find all of that in the description as soon as I go in and do that drawing, okay? So I go in and look at all your comments from the last video, and then I will I'll announce who won that from the last one. All right, I'm trying to do this really fast so that we can get this card done. I don't even know what time it is. I haven't been watching. Too busy coloring. I appreciate you helping me make this card, guys. I have to give you all credit because you all helped me with ideas, even though I miss listening to the one. That's a problem with lives, is that there's such a delay. It's delayed getting to you, and then till it gets back to me, it's delayed some more. So, and I must be a very impatient person, but I don't want to like sit and hold you guys up. So, all right, let's add a little bit more color down here. All right. So, where do we want to put this? I'm thinking maybe right here on this other bauble, since we have that. So I'm using tons of glue tonight. I must really be heavy-handed. Now I want to fit it in here so that it's not sticking out on the edge of the card. All right. I think all it needs yet is some clear epoxy drops. So I'm going to add them, and then I will get a picture of the completed thing. But I'm really happy with how it looks. Thanks, guys. Yes, very soft colors, but yet still some brightness to it. So I think it's a fun card. It's definitely not one I'm going to make a ton of to send out for Christmas. So don't expect this. One lucky person will get this card. Anyways, so maybe you guys would like me to give this card away. What do you think? Would this be something you guys would like to win? Let me know. Let me know if you'd like to win this card. And it will be the finished card because it will have the clear epoxy drops on, and I don't know. This has some shimmery, the glittery, this is the glittery ribbon, so it's got some shimmer there going on. But a couple of the clear epoxy drops will be just the ticket, I think. Either that or some rhinestones. All right, so thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a lovely week. Keep praying. I will be posting. I'm sure we'll be hearing the news probably. You'll be hearing something in the news probably before I even know anything. But you'll hear me as soon as we know anything that, yeah. So keep praying. All right, love you guys. God bless.